And welcome inside the historic Hamer Hall as tonight we're getting set for second round playoff action in women's basketball in the PSAC as Edinboro gets set to take on California. Hello, my name is Damon Madsen. Alongside me is Danny Beck. And Danny, these two teams met a week ago. In the last game of the regular season, California had a really good victory there.
Yeah, like you said, they did have a very good victory, 83-52 over an Edinboro team who they're facing tonight. They really dominated in that second half, and we'll get to that later.
And then, of course, Edinboro played this past Saturday in the first round since they weren't in one of the top two seeds, and they got the victory in that one.
Yeah, 61-42, just a dominating performance by them yet again over a Mercier's team who kind of play it tough against us as well. So we'll see here tonight how they match up.
And of course, that makes the last meeting between these two teams was less than 7 days ago, this past Wednesday at the Convocation Center. And we talked about how California got the victory, but it was in a dominant fashion, especially in the second half.
Yeah, Mickey Glenn, as well as always, and Shatara Parsons both held that game offensively and defensively to give California the impressive victory.
Now, of course, being that it is the second round, we've already had a round of playoff games happen earlier on this past week. So we'll take a look at the playoff bracket in the PSAC now that we've reached the second round to see where California stands.
Yeah, and all teams advanced, the higher teams advanced. So that sets up, contingent upon tonight's victory for California, they could host the Final Four for the rest of the tournament for the PSAC.
It should be a very good one here for the second round tonight as California tries to repeat as champions from last year. We'll see if they can get on a run and do just that again here tonight. We'll be back after the break with the start of the game for you here on CUTV.
With CalU's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing Office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
For almost 30 years, CUTV has been the campus and community home for local news, sports, and entertainment. Broadcast in 100,000 homes in southwestern Pennsylvania, CUTV provides complete coverage of Vulcan sports as well as high school football coverage. Broadcast weekly live, CUTV News Center provides coverage of local and campus events, weekend weather, sports highlights, and feature stories. For more information on CUTV, check us out on the web, friend us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
Hello and welcome back inside Hamer Halls. We're just about ready for tip-off in the second round PSCC playoff game between Edinboro and California. Once again, my name is David Madsen. Alongside me is Danny Beck. And we can't stress enough how important this game is. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape between these two teams.
Yeah, like you said, this game is important as ever at this point, and California really needs to step their rebounds up against this team. Anya Freeland for Edinboro is a force in the lane, and Shatara Parsons and also Precious Martin really have to step up and try to get those rebounds back from her.
Yeah, it was a good game between these two less than 7 days ago, like we talked about just a little bit ago, but of course California came out and dominated that second half of play. We'll see if they can't come out with that same dominance here as we go into this game. Let's take a look real quick then at the starters here in this game. For Edinboro, we have number 0, Lauren Hippo, number 4, Katie Fisher, number 12, Whitney Allen, number 13, Anya Freeland, and number 20, Michelle Yawn. And then for California, it's the typical starting five that we've seen all season long. Number 1, Paige Wright, number 3, Shatara Parsons, number 5, Sierra Barrett, number 21, Mickey Glenn, and number 23, Precious Martin, as you just heard over the loudspeaker. So basically, the same 5 starters we saw 6 days ago, Danny, and we'll see how they come out here tonight.
Yeah, and they all really have been working together all season, basically, and last week it was Paige Wright's senior day. So see if she can kind of continue her scoring streak as she has all year, basically. So we'll see if she can do that, as well as the Vulcans beating Edinboro for the second time in 2 weeks.
And California, of course, just about a year ago today, started their playoff run here in Hamer Hall last year, all the way to the championship in South Dakota. I'm sure they're going to try to look to repeat and try to defend that championship this year, but it's one step at a time, and again, it starts here tonight.
Yeah, it definitely does, and this is the first time I've actually announced from Hamer Hall, and you guys did say that the energy it's pretty exciting in here, so and it definitely has. I mean, we see the men's basketball team is sitting over on the other side of the bleachers, so it's definitely, the atmosphere is a big step up from the Convocation Center.
That's right. It's a much smaller venue, so the fans are just right behind us and very close to the court on both sides. So if they can get the crowd going, if the Vulcans can score a little bit and get ahead here, the energy will definitely be felt, and you'll probably be able to hear it and see it through your screen as this game gets going. And we are about ready for tip-off. As you can see there, for California, Sierra Barrett is going to go up against Anya Freeland in the tip-off. And we are underway as California gets it, as Precious Martin gathers in that tip, and Mickey Glenn's going to start the offense. Glenn fakes to go to the right, back to the left, and over to Shatara Parsons. Down low, Martin up for the layup, and good for two. So California coming out with a couple points to start.
Yeah, and Shatara Parsons there in the lane, going up against Edinboro defender, just gets underneath there and gets these early points for the Vulcans. They're huge.
Now dribbling right to the basket is Fisher. She passes back out, going up to the basket and then being knocked down right there. Actually, no, it's a travel call, so no foul on the play. Called for the travel there is Michelle Yana. She was going to the basket and just got knocked down.
Yeah, this pressing defense from the Vulcans getting started early, just a force that Coach Shestrom enforces her players to do each and every week, and they just do that there, give them the ball right back.
Yeah, they always look for those steals and the points off turnovers. That's California's game as Mickey Glenn hangs on to the basketball. Goes towards the far side, tries to dribble around. Passes it out, gives it to Martin. She shoots, no good. Rebounded by Edinboro, and that was Whitney Allen with the rebound.
And it was a good idea there for Mickey Glenn, seeing the open defender, getting it over to her. Unfortunately, Precious Martin couldn't convert on that, but she also is a defensive presence, so look for her to step that up as well.
And now Yon, the freshman, has it over there, guarded against Parsons. And gives it back over Fisher. Fisher thought about going to the basket, decides against it. Still can't find a lane, 8 to shoot. She goes to the basket, passes to Freeland. She loses the handle on it, and she's called for a travel right there.
Yeah, Edinboro. Hamer Hall might be getting to Edinboro, I don't know. This is huge for the Vulcans. Those are 2 points that they could have gotten right there on Anya Freeland, and just gives them the ball back, trying to get more started for the Vulcans.
2 possessions and 2 travel calls early on for Edinboro. They try to come out with some energy against California. Parsons going to the basket. She shoots a little floater that falls.
Yeah, those high efficiency areas for the Vulcans are huge. Just getting to those early, establishing where you're good at getting those shots and completing those all game long.
And then Katie Fisher brings it up. Gets a little bit of a screen. She does shoot 3, and she gets it. Just pulls up out of nowhere, and Katie Fisher starts the scoring for Edinboro.
Yeah, Edinboro is a great three-point shooting team. They average around 6 per game, so that was just one of their many that they'll try to hit tonight.
That's the Sierra Barrett on the far side. Dribbles to the basket, guard against 2 defenders. A little strong on the layup, rebounded by Edinboro as they start the ball back up the court.
Yeah, slightly a little bit too hard there in that lane, so you just got to step it up, really, just try to get those points to fall.
Now this is dribbled in by Yon. Thought about it, goes back. Passes back out, Allen. Dribbling around the top of the key. Long pass back down to Yon, and there's gonna be a foul called right there. As that one is gonna go against the Vulcans, and the number right there is going against Shatara Parsons.
Yeah, Shatara Parsons trying to hold her ground there, and the Edinboro defender saw that and just took advantage of that, getting that charge foul.
And on the inbounds, it's shot no good, rebounded by California. Another long 3-point shot as Edinboro tried to take the lead right there. Now Mickey Glenn bringing it up. She dribbles, goes on to the far side, Martin. Shot is gonna fall as Precious Martin has 4 to start the night.
Yeah, Martin just getting to the basket there, and Edinboro to start that play was guarding Mickey Glenn heavily. So they know what they do. They like to see Mickey Glenn take the ball across the court, and they're just defending against that.
Now Yon gives it over to Allen. Precious Martin not giving her any space. Yon dribbling back towards the foul line, decides not to shoot. Gives it out. Hippo has it for the first time tonight. Dribbling, going straight to the basket, little layup, and she gets it to fall. Lauren Hippo Didn't hear much from her in the last game, but there's her first 2 tonight.
Yeah, Anya Freeland and Whitney Allen both kind of guarding that inside the lane. So that allowed an Edinboro defender to just kind of sneak right through there and get some points up on the board.
This is Sierra Bear, gives it out to Paige Wright. She decides to shoot off the far side of the basket. It's rebounded by Martin, back out to Paige Wright. Good rebound right there. Now Paige Wright can reset the offense. Martin dribbling, loses the handle on it, picks it right back up, and gets the layup. Good recovery. She didn't give up on that play at all.
Yeah, those offensive rebounds for the Vulcans will be huge if they can continue that. Just allowing them to set up their offense, like you said, Damon, that's huge for them.
6:10 just about left here in the first quarter. California out to a 3-point lead for right now. As Fisher loses the handle, Precious Martin steals it away. Tries to get a break going as she goes up the court, but nope, gives it to Sierra Baird over to Mickey Glenn. Her shot's no good, but it's picked right back up by Parsons. Glenn shoots a basket, no good, and Edinboro gets it back. Tough break for the Vulcans.
Yeah, Mickey Glenn there, kind of uncharacteristic of her, missing that.
There's Anya Freeland shot, no good, rebounded by Parsons. So the action's starting to pick up just a little bit as Mickey Glenn is bumped going up the court. We'll get a foul called there against Edinboro, and that is going to be on Michelle Yawn.
Yeah, and like I said, Mickey Glenn likes to take the ball up there, and Edinboro trying to nip that at the bud early in this game, and just a little shove there gives the Vulcans the ball back, but it also gets in their head, the Vulcans, a little bit.
Yeah, pretty aggressive compared to last week. We're seeing Edinboro play on defense, trying to press the Vulcans as they come up the court. And like you said, guarding Mickey Glenn really hard. This is Precious Martin, gives it over to Paige Wright. Wright out to Parsons. She dribbles her way around towards the basket and gets a little floater to fall. So Parsons and Martin so far with the points for California.
Yeah, Precious Martin on there. It looks like she lost handle of that even. Just gave it to Paige Wright, and Paige Wright found the open Shatara Parsons, and that's going to be big for them.
Now this is Allen. Dribbling the basket, pass back out. Fisher shoots for 3, and she gets it to fall. So 2 3-point shots for Katie Fisher, as she looks to be a little bit locked in so far tonight.
Yeah, those 3-pointers could kind of stretch their lead if Edinboro gets up big. So kind of defend against that around the 3-point arc if they can for California.
And California has done a good job defending, not letting Edinboro get underneath. That was one thing they did well in the last game with Anya Freeland putting up quite a few layups. As Mickey Glenn passes it out, Paige Wright shooting one of her own for 3. No good, rebounded by Edinboro.
Yeah, and Paige Wright trying to find her spot there. Like I said, just getting to those high-efficiency areas. Normally Paige Wright is good from the 3-pointers and just couldn't convert there. Just got to stay in this game, though. Don't get discouraged.
Mickey Glenn got a hand on that ball as it went out of bounds. Actually, they said it last touched Edinboro as we've reached our first media timeout. California, of course, going to come back from the timeout with the ball as Edinboro tipped that out of bounds. So we'll take a look at the PSAC West standings. This is how it ended up to end the season. We saw the bracket, of course, earlier, but here is the way it ended up as far as the standings are concerned after the regular season ended last week.
Yeah, and California obviously takes sole possession at the #1 seed going into the playoffs, and that's huge. You know, California was strong in this whole season, basically, and this Edinboro team actually beat them earlier in the season. So that's huge as well, at being the 4th seed there. But just an impressive record, 21-5. Jess Strom doing what she does always. 2 back-to-back seasons where they've just been dominating.
We had a little mix-up on the graphic there, of course. We had 3 and 4 switched. Oh, I apologize. We had the PSAC. The PSAC wrote it wrong. We had it right there on our graphic as far as that's concerned. But there's a couple of the highlights we've seen so far from this game.
Yeah, and Edinboro has really been focusing on their defense. You know, they've been blocking out. Obviously, I was talking about Mickey Glenn trying to take the ball across the court. That's really the only team that I've seen this year that really defended that against that. So, you know, Mickey Glenn just has to keep her composure, bring the ball up, trying to find the open girl out in the court, and that's what she's doing. Only a 2-point lead for right now, but see if the Vulcans can kind of heat up, get other players involved. Paige Wright trying to shoot a little bit of her own. Getting those high-efficiency areas is huge.
And Mickey Glenn probably, too, a big X factor. She had a lot of points in that last game, of course, last week against Edinboro. She has yet to get on the score sheet tonight, but we'll see if that pressure that Edinboro keeps applying onto her has any effect moving forward, as here she goes, dribbling it toward the basket, guarded by 2 defenders. Gives it out to Parsons, who shoots it. They say no shot, though, as she traveled. It took just an extra step and got caught.
Yeah, it looks like right when Mickey Glenn passed her the ball, she kind of shuffled her feet a little bit before she took the shot. So, unfortunate call there. Just got to try to stay in this game.
This is Fisher bringing it up. Passes it out, gives it to Yawn, who shoots for a long three from way downtown as she gets her first 3 points of the night.
Yeah, that kind of resembled, I like to say this, Steph Curry even. You know, that was just a long three she shot right there, and it's huge.
And now California looks to answer as they're down for the first time in this one. Paige Wright dribbling in a circle, do a little spin move going to the basket. We'll get a foul called there, though, as that's going to go against Edinboro as one of the new players on the court. Maggie Moore gets called for the foul.
Yeah, she got right into the lane there, as you can see here on our CUTV replay, and just kind of tripped, but the Edinboro defender did push her a little bit, so that gives Paige Wright a shot from the line to try to put out some points on the board.
Yeah, first foul shots we'll see tonight. Paige Wright's first one is going to be up and just out as it rolled like it was going to go into the basket, but it went right back out. Of course, Paige Wright on the regular season, 81.3% from the free throw stripe. Her second shot, though, does fall. So Paige Wright brings us back to 11 all. So a close game here so far, back and forth a little bit lately as Edinboro brings this up. Fisher gives it over. Yawn has it down low to Maggie Moore, got called for the foul and gets the big layup after the foul, kind of making up for what happened on the other end of the court.
Yeah, just great passing there, allows the Edinboro player to just find the open girl and, you know, stretch this lead a little bit even more.
Now Sierra Barrett has it. Thought about going to the basket, backed off, gives it to Mickey Glenn. Glenn aggressively to the basket as there's a foul called right there. Her shot is no good, and the foul is going to be called against Edinboro right there on Whitney Allen.
Yeah, Mickey Glenn kind of seems a little bit off tonight. She's using her body a lot more, which is great, but her shots aren't really falling. So hopefully she can get some shots here to kind of build her confidence in herself even, just to get those shots up, just to build your confidence even.
And this is where she has thrived in the regular season, is free throws, and that's a rare miss right there as her first one doesn't go in. 89.5% from the free throw stripe. Mickey Glenn usually very, very reliable with this. And her second shot is up and good, and it could be a little bit of a difference being that we're in a different gym. Usually the Vulcans play in the Convocation Center, of course.
Yeah, that's huge too.
So now Fisher brings it up. Going to the far side of the court, gives it over to Hippo. Hippo staying out near the top of the key. Gives it over Allen. Back over to Fisher. Edinboro just trying to find a way to go with the ball. She is guarded really well right there. Gets it out to Hippo. Shot clock down to 5. Yawn backs off, goes for 3. And it is good. Edinboro just can't miss right now for 3 points.
Yeah, that is just a great display of three-pointers there for Edinboro, stretching this lead, like I said before. She can just hit it from anywhere on the court.
We'll get a whistle right here. And it's going to be a foul called on Edinboro right there. It's going to be on Fisher.
And not sure what happened on that play, but Edinboro gets to be on defense again with a fresh shot clock for Cal.
Yeah, off the foul, fresh shot clock as they'll inbound it right here coming up. Mickey Glenn gives it out to a new player on the court, Morgan Jennings for California. Glenn over to Jennings. Jennings dribbles around. Good move right there. She goes to the basket. Her shot doesn't fall, though. Rebound picked up by Edinboro.
Yeah, and Morgan Jennings there, just a good move to the basket. Unfortunately, she can get that to fall, but she did follow it up on defense, trying to get that ball back, and Whitney Allen just took that right from her.
Katie Fisher gives it over. Michelle Yawn. And deadly from three-point range. Don't want to give her too much space. There's Hippo going straight to the basket at an open lane, and she took it as Edinboro starting to get on a little bit of a roll right now.
Yeah, Edinboro just finding the open lanes, getting the ball to the open player, and that's kind of what California needs to mirror in order for them to get back into this contest.
So Mickey Glenn and the Vulcans trying to make the offense click a little bit more here, get some shots to fall. As here goes Paige Wright straight to the basket. Nice little floater right there. Her first field goal of the night.
Yeah, way to go for her, just using her body, getting into the lane, getting a good shot that she knows she can hit, and trying to crawl back into this game.
California down 18-14 right now, 1:36 left in the first quarter. This is Maggie Moore going to the basket, and she gets a little bit of a roll. Maggie Moore so far been the force down low for Edinboro.
Yeah, Maggie Moore just pushing basically Morgan Jennings out of the way, just a bigger defender, and she couldn't do it.
This is Paige Wright now over to Sierra Barrett. She does a little bit of a move, and it gets swatted out of bounds as she went to the basket. And we'll get a substitution right here as Precious Martin comes back in the game for Morgan Jennings. Let's take a look at that shot again.
Yeah, as Sierra Barrett gets the ball here, she goes to a move like she normally does, and Edinboro just having this confidence in themselves. Even the bench is getting into it. Just these energy levels for Edinboro is helping them kind of just hit their shots, really.
Now Precious Martin back on the court after the substitution. She is having a game so far, 8 points, as she gets California a 2-pointer right there.
Yeah, that's a huge reason, and since Mickey Glenn couldn't really step up her game right now, the rest of the team, the rest of the players on the court really have to step up.
This is Fisher, dribbling around, trying to go down the baseline. She's guarded well by Barrett, and Parsons passes it out, gives it to Yawn. We'll get a foul called right here. And that is gonna go against California, it looks like. I didn't catch the number of which player it was. That would be against Paige Wright.
Yeah, she used her body a little bit too much, the refs say, and gives Edinboro the ball back and another fresh shot clock.
Yeah, Edinboro inbounding this right now. As Fisher has him. We'll give props to the referee sitting beside me. He let me know that was against Paige Wright there for the Vulcans. There's Fisher going down the baseline. We'll get another whistle called, and again, we're gonna get another foul called against Paige Wright.
Yeah, Paige Wright just trying to back off a little bit. Unfortunately, it was a little bit too late. But the Edinboro defenders are really taking advantage of that. They're seeing who they're going up against, and they're using their body as much as they can.
And because of the 2 quick foul calls, we're going to see Emily Suckling come into the game for the Vulcans. Now the inbounds here for Edinboro as Allen has it. Gives it over, it's stolen away by Mickey Glenn, and we're going to get a whistle here, as that's going to be a foul called here against Edinboro and Katie Fisher, her second of the night.
Yeah, and that gives Mickey Glenn a shot from the free throw stripe. So 2 shots here at the end of this first quarter is going to be huge if she can convert.
Yeah, if she can make both of these free throws, California would be only down by 2 with just about 24 seconds left here on the first quarter clock. So Edinboro could hold for last possession after these shots. Mickey Glenn's first is good. She now has, of course, 2 points on the night. Hasn't made a field goal yet, but she has gotten these free throw attempts. She gets ready, shoots up her second, and it is good. Mickey Glenn being reliable as always from that stripe. So now the clock starts back up again, and Edinboro is going to slowly bring this up the court as they try to hold for last possession, not give California a chance to maybe tie this before the end of the first quarter. Fisher trying to go down that same lane Edinboro's used all night. She loses the control of the ball, goes out of bounds, and California's going to get it with 7 seconds left.
That's huge for California. I know Mickey Glenn likes to have that last possession to kind of set up her offense strategically, and Edinboro is really pressuring her, like I said before.
Now they're going to run the full court press right here, try to prevent California from getting anything. Mickey Glenn up the court. 2 seconds, gets to it near the basket. Her shot just a little too light as it falls down, no good. So we'll end the first quarter on that note. Edinboro leading at 20-18. When we come back from the break, we'll have second quarter here on CUTV.
With CalU's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing Office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
And welcome back inside Hamer Hall. As you can see, the band is on hand here tonight to bring the energy in this playoff matchup. As you can see, Edinboro, though, leading by 2 as we enter into the second quarter of play. And a little bit different than we saw 6 days ago. Edinboro really making their three-point shots and doing what they can here tonight, Danny.
Yeah, and like you said, those three-point shots are huge. Hitting 4 of 5, 80% right now. And on the other side, California, 7 for 16, shooting about 44%. So they really need to step their game up and try to hit shots, build confidence. That's always going to be big.
You got to lay it all out on the court here tonight, as of course it is win or go home. As Edinboro gets the inbound, start the second quarter. Yawn dribbling down towards the baseline, gives it out to Hippo. She shoots for three, no good. Rebounded by Edinboro, so they get a fresh shot clock here to work with. Fisher guarded by Parsons as she goes out near the top of the key. Back down, she shoots for two, and her shot falls. Katie Fisher leading Edinboro right now with 8 points.
Yeah, and that was even good defense from Emily Suckling. Edinboro just has this swagger about them. They're just hitting all their shots. They're just building team chemistry out there as well, as the same players are out on the court.
And Mickey Glenn going toward the basket, dribbles down low and gives it to Barrett, whose shot is no good. Edinboro rebounds. Sierra Barrett still doesn't have any points yet on the score sheet.
Yeah, Sierra Barrett, everybody on the team really needs to take their time, get those shots they know they can hit, and step it up on defense.
Now Yawn goes straight to the basket down the baseline. She gets her floater to fall, so Edinboro opens it up just a little bit to start the second quarter, up by 6.
Yeah, Michelle Yawn is a huge reason of that, and she just shows her dominance there again, just helping their team.
And we'll get a whistle right here as the ball is going to go back to Edinboro, as we're going to get a foul called against California. That one's going to go against Precious Martin, a foul away from the ball. We'll see if we can see it right here. And I don't know if we're able to catch that now. We can't see it on our replay, but she knocked the player down going toward the basket.
Yeah, and I thought that foul was against Edinboro, being that a lot of people in the crowd were clapping and stuff like that, but it was against Cal, and people from Edinboro are even here in the audience today. So that's big. They're bringing their home crowd with them.
And, Mickey Glenn almost stole that ball away. Now it will be stolen away. She tipped it once again as she brings it up the court just over the half-court line as it's tipped out of bounds. Errant pass as Sierra Barrett couldn't bring that one in, so that possession for California just didn't really look like it could get going.
Yeah, Sierra Barrett looking back there over at Shatara Parsons, or vice versa even. They just really have to keep their minds straight, know what they're doing. They've been doing it all year. They've been dominating these teams all year, so they really need to just keep their composure about them.
Now Abby Sporio, by the way, on the court for Emily Suckling on this possession here. As we see Lauren Hippo control it, gives it over to Fisher, and then down low to Maggie Moore. Edinboro just playing catch right now in a little triangle as Fisher, again trying to go down that baseline, circles around, shoots a shot, and it falls again. A little kiss off the backboard. Katie Fisher is locked in. And a quick up right here. This is Precious Martin. Good passing, good answer right there. Precious Martin into double digits with 10 points.
Yeah, that's huge for her. Like I said, since Mickey Glenn isn't heating up, other players need to step up, and Precious Martin is huge for them.
So the pace of play once again picking up. California just trying to defend against Edinboro. This shot by Yawn, no good on the three-point shot, rebounded by Allen. Gives it over to Moore. Her layup no good, rebounded again by Edinboro. And we're going to get a wave. Oh, the shot is waved off right there as Allen traveled with it just a little bit. So California catching a huge break as Edinboro is getting every single rebound.
Yeah, California normally takes advantage of those rebounds, and here we see Edinboro doing that, allowing them to set up their offense, and that's just, you need to block against that if you're Vulcans.
And Allen is a key player so far for Edinboro. She didn't do anything in that last game as California taking advantage as Sierra Barrett finally gets on the score sheet with a good layup right there.
Yeah, and that's huge, taking advantage of those opportunities, whether it's in the fast break or just sending their offense up quick. California needs to take advantage of those, and they just did that there to get 2 back-to-back points.
And right here, this is Yawn trying to dribble around Shatara Parsons. Goes down the baseline, gets a shot way over top the basket. But we are going to get a foul called right here against Shatara Parsons as she was trying to guard Michelle Yawn.
Yeah, Michelle Yawn on that last play, even when she took up that 3, she fell down. I don't know if the refs saw that on that last play there, too. She might have fallen, on that play, too. It didn't really look like there was that much contact there, even.
And that's already 2 fouls against California here in the second quarter. So a few more, and they would give Edinboro into the bonus. As the first shot there for Michelle Yawn does fall. She now has 9 on the night. Since it was a shooting foul, she'll get 2 automatically. As we see Morgan Jennings come back in the game for California off the bench. And the next shot is also good. Michelle Yawn into double digits. Now Katie Fisher and Michelle Yawn both leading the scoring for Edinboro. Now This is Mickey Glenn. Still trying to find a way to get her shots to fall. She gives it to Precious Martin. She cannot miss tonight. That's 12 points for her.
Yeah, Precious Martin really stepping up. She saw there was no defender in front of her, so she just pulled up and got that shot to fall, and that's big for them. They really need to take advantage of those.
Abby Sporio trying to be aggressive right there and steal the ball away. She doesn't able to do that. It's Nicole Johnson on the court for Edinboro. Gives it over to Fisher. Fisher back to Johnson. Guarded by Jennings, and she's going to get called for the foul. She reached in and bumped Johnson just a little bit, so Morgan Jennings getting called for her first foul of the night.
Yeah, Edinboro getting all those fouls to count there for her, and just unfortunate if you're California.
And that brings their team total to 3, and we still have 6 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. So California doesn't want to get into too much foul trouble. Got to be careful. As Fisher has it, guarded by Sporio. Now Yawn, trying to fake out Mickey Glenn. She's trying to use those slick moves. She goes down the baseline, runs into a player, and we're gonna get a foul called against Edinboro. I didn't quite see which California player it was, but she had her feet set and got the foul called right there against Yawn.
Great move by Precious Martin. And I also want to mention that Anya Freeland hasn't been out on the court much at all. She is back in this contest now, but all that scoring has been coming without Anya Freeland on the court, and she was the biggest person that I thought that was going to have an impact on this game.
Yeah, two of the key players from last week not even being a factor right now, as we see a travel call right there against Precious Martin as she tried to spin her way to the basket. California fans behind us not really liking that call at all.
Yeah, that's huge there for California. You know, you just got to think smart. Edinboro did start off this game with 2 back-to-back travels, so I don't know if this crowd is getting into anybody's head or what's going on.
So now Edinboro bringing it up the court. Again, Fisher that controls the offense. What a job backing Sporio up. Rebounded right there on the missed shot by Johnson. Gives it over to Freeland, and she finally gets her first 2 of the night.
Yeah, Anya Freeland is a big force in the lane. Like I said, 6'3", just gets over that California defender and just lays that in for an easy basket.
Now that's Jennings, I apologize, dribbling to the basket, and she gets her first 2 to fall. Aggressive play. Good job there for Jennings.
Getting everybody involved is the key, I think, in order for California to get these points back and try to take this lead before halftime. And just including everyone. Abby Sporio hasn't got on the board yet. Morgan Jennings as well just got on the board there.
And a big steal right there by Precious Martin. She goes easy layup right there. Big play, California back within 2.
Yeah, and Precious Martin hasn't stepped up really earlier in the season, and she's stepping up when it counts tonight, and that's huge.
Points off of turnovers is where California lived off of all season long, and they're trying to get some of those here tonight to get back into this. And there's a foul called right there. Sierra Barrett trying to reach in for the ball, but she got a little too much of the hand right there of Katie Fisher. That's her first of the night. And we have reached, with 4:42 left in the second quarter, our second media timeout of this game. And during this break, we're going to take a look at the Atlantic Regional standings, and the new standings are going to come out tomorrow or Thursday. As you can see, a little asterisk right there by Virginia Union.
Yeah, and they got their conference win, I believe, so that's huge for them, solidifying their #1 seeding. And California too, trying to get back up into their conference win. And Virginia Union took down Shaw in that contest, so that's huge. 22-2 on the season. California trying to ruin their season basically if they see them later in this tournament.
And of course, this is how good of a game this is here tonight. California and Edinboro both in the top 10 in those regional rankings. And we'll take a look at some of the replays in this close game. Edinboro's been on fire, but California, again, they've been hanging around.
Yeah, they definitely have, and Precious Martin is a big reason of that happening. Just getting to those shots, you know, Mickey Glenn seemed to be a little bit off in the beginning, trying to get into her mojo again, trying to pass the ball around, and Precious Martin just happens to be that person out on the court that is always open. So she's just getting the ball to her and making those easy shots.
Yeah, it seems to be that Precious Martin and then Katie Fisher and Michelle Yawn heated up for Edinboro of late. So if Edinboro's going to take away Mickey Glenn, the Vulcans have to find somebody else to really produce the offense, and so far that has fallen to Precious Martin here tonight. As California got a big couple points off of a turnover last time out, with Precious Martin stealing it away. So Edinboro only up by 2. We'll see if California can force another turnover possibly and get this thing all tied up. As Fisher Almost got it stolen away there by Sporio. Good job almost recognizing that and almost stealing it away. And there it goes. Sierra Barrett has it. Brings it across half court, loses the handle on it, gives it over to Martin, and then over to Jennings. So California creates another turnover. So Mickey Glenn's going to slow it down, set up the offense a little bit here. Trying to get a screen from Barrett. Now she gives it over to Martin, spinning towards the basket. A little floater in and out as it goes around in a circle. Bad luck there.
Yeah, and Abby Sporia almost got that steal on that last possession. She was a stealing machine earlier in this season. So Sierra Barrett stepping up there and getting that steal. Unfortunately, did not convert into any points for the Vulcans.
Both teams not scoring on their first possessions. After the media timeouts, we're going to get a whistle. Actually, that's a timeout right there by Edinboro as California's defense really started to pressure the Fighting Scots and forcing them into some bad decisions on offense.
Yeah, just a veteran move there, seeing that she really didn't have anywhere to go. If she moved her feet a little bit more, that would have been a travel. So just a heads-up play there from Edinboro.
So now that we have a timeout, a little break in the action once again. We're going to take a look at the team leaders here. First for Edinboro, as you can see their bench, it's mostly Freeland and Fisher, mostly on the offense there.
Yeah, like I said, Anya Freeland wasn't in there for all that scoring, and that's why. I mean, she's a big threat in the scoring department, having averaged 16 points a game this whole season. And also Mickey Glenn, just littered all over the board. She's just been huge with assists, steals converting into points, which contributes to her 19 points in average on a game. So that's just huge for the Vulcans, and just trying to get back into that is going to be the major factor in tonight's contest.
Yeah, it's safe to say if you followed the Vulcans all year long that Mickey Glenn does, in fact, help run this offense and keep it going. As you can see, once again, Fisher trying to drive aggressively to the basket. She is met by 3 defenders, gets it out to Maggie Moore, who gives it over. A three-point shot is good at the last second of the buzzer right there for Michelle Yon.
Yeah, Michelle Yon, like I said before, cannot miss, and she just shows that there again.
That one's almost lost by Sierra Barrett, bringing it up for the Vulcans as it's back out to Glenn. She goes right to the basket, gives it to Barrett underneath, and that just bounces out a little too much on that as we get a foul called here on the Vulcans. That whole possession was not good for the Vulcans at all. 2 missed layups for Sierra Barrett, and that foul's going to go against Precious Martin.
Yeah, and Mickey Glenn just passing the ball right over to Sierra Barrett, could not convert there, but that foul does put Edinboro in the bonus.
That's a tough break with 3:15 left here in the second quarter. Edinboro is really going to have an opportunity, if California keeps fouling them, to add on to this lead with these free throw attempts. Maggie Moore is going to the line. Her first is no good. She's typically reliable too for Edinboro from the line, 78.3% on the season. She'll line it up for her second. It goes in and out, and it's rebounded by Sierra Barrett, so a good break for the Vulcans there. Now Mickey Glenn, guard at the top of the key by Yon, gives it over to Martin. Martin back to Glenn. Glenn gives it over. We saw Sierra Barrett fall down near the basket. Shot up and good right there. Abby Sporio gets on the score sheet.
Yeah, great shot there by her. And if you remember, if you follow the Vulcans throughout the season, this is how they started off against Mercyhurst too in the first half. In the second half, they picked it up. So I don't know, we'll see a continuing chain of events.
We're going to get a foul called right here on Sierra Barrett. She did not have her feet set as she went to guard against that shot for Edinboro, so she gets called for her second foul of the night.
Yeah, that's going to be big, just trying to heat up early, and she cannot, with getting all these fouls, just hitting her confidence levels down. And hopefully we can see if other players on this team can kind of pick up her slack even, if you may. But, you know, we'll see if she can kind of change that around later in the contest.
And the first shot up right there for Yon is good. She now has 14 on the night, as we're going to see a substitution as Shatara Parsons comes back on the court for the Vulcans, as Sierra Barrett goes ahead and takes a seat on the bench. Now Michelle Yon's second shot is up and good. She has 15 to lead all scorers so far tonight. Of course, Precious Martin just behind her with 14. Got about 2:38 left here in the first half as that pass is out of bounds near the Edinboro bench. Abby Sporio just couldn't take that pass in from Mickey Glenn. And California right now just can't get their possessions rolling on offense.
Yeah, Edinboro just feeding off of this energy that they're getting from the California's mistakes, and that's allowing them to convert at every level. So California really needs to combat against this.
And Fisher pulling another Stephen Curry, just pulls up out of nowhere for 3 and gets it to fall. She has 13 on the night.
Yeah, and even with an Abby Sporio hand in her face, just a great shot there.
Now Mickey Glenn passes it over to Sporio. She goes down the baseline. No shot, they say. So we got a whistle, and we'll see what the call is right here. It's going to be a foul against Edinboro. That's going to be against Katie Fisher, her 3rd already tonight.
Yeah, and that's big, giving California the ball back, trying to get some more points. They kind of have to get these points quick, being that there's only 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half.
And this is the largest lead of the night as well for Edinboro, 38-30 right now. So California's going to have to do their best to at least chip away at this before halftime. Inbounds goes to Precious Martin. She gives it back out to Glenn. She shoots for 3, and Mickey Glenn finally gets her first field goal of the night. A big 3-pointer right there.
Yeah, and if Mickey Glenn was to convert any other time, that was a time that she should have, and she did right there. Huge.
Now this is Yawn, guarded against Sporio, down the baseline, passes it back out. As that shot is no good, they're going to call a travel right there against her sibling right there, Lindsay Yawn, on the court for Edinboro.
Yeah, and that's big as well. California really needs to try to take advantage of this. Mickey Glenn trying to set up her offense down the court, seeing if they can get a quick 3 even, or just get into the lane, easy shots.
Glenn going towards the basket aggressively, passes underneath to Parsons, who is swatted very hard as she was going up for that shot. That foul is going to go against Maggie Moore right there, as Tara Parsons just being aggressive.
Yeah, and she is 42% from the free throw stripe on the season. So Edinboro might have picked the right person to foul in that situation. Just an easy point they could have gotten, so just getting a hand in her face and got the foul.
And she sends that first shot up, and it's more on a line drive as it doesn't even get close to going in the basket, so she'll get her second shot right here. Again, a little too strong off the back of the rim, so Tara Parsons not taking advantage of the free throw opportunities.
Yeah, just unfortunate there because she couldn't get any points, but look for her to focus on her defensive side now, try to step up that in that department.
And Lauren Hippo dribbles it around, gives it to Michelle Yawn. Her shot, air ball, as it goes out of bounds. Edinboro tried to save it, but to no avail, so California gonna get an opportunity to bring it back up.
Yeah, and California's bench was kind of screaming even at the refs, try to see if they can get a travel call there, but they didn't. Fortunately, they did get the turnover there, so allows Mickey Glenn to set up her offense again.
1:12 remaining here in the first half. As Precious Martin dribbles, but she's going to get called for the travel right there. She tried to sidestep her defender and got called on that one.
Yeah, and a travel call is something you don't normally see in basketball. You know, you really pride yourself on getting those dribbles to count, but, you know, we've already seen probably 6+ even in this contest early.
This is Yawn bringing up the court this time for Edinboro. Gives it over to her sibling, Lindsay. Down to Lauren Hippo. You can see right there, Jennings trying her aggressive style of defense, and she has nowhere to go with it right now. Shot clock is down to 10. And we get a whistle right here, and it's going to be ball given to California. And that's a 5-second call right there against Edinboro. That's something you don't normally see.
Yeah, smart call by the refs, and even smarter defense from the Vulcans. That was just enormous for them, giving them the ball that close to the end of this half.
And we get a timeout called here by California now with 48 seconds left on the clock, as they're going to try to set up, bring off the boards, try to set up something on offense. They are down by 5, so a 2-pointer here would bring it back to a decent deficit, if there is such a thing, in this contest. As right now, though, Edinboro, be surprised to see them come out this strong here tonight, Danny.
Yeah, and this lead is kind of is weird even because of the fact that it seems like Edinboro should be up by more. They're just hitting all of their shots, but California just pressuring their defense. Their defense is coming in huge, as well as Edinboro. Edinboro is kind of combating against Mickey Glenn's always strong force, no matter in scoring or assists or anything like that. They're just putting the pressure on California, and that's limiting this lead to only 5 points at the end of this half.
Yeah, California has been able to do what they can to at least hang around. Again, Edinboro's biggest lead was 8 points, and that was recently before California's last 3-point shot by Glenn. As she goes to the basket on this possession, a little too strong, rebounded by Edinboro as Lindsay Yawn has it. She tried to get around Sporio, gives it over to Michelle Yawn. this is Allen, guarded against Precious Martin. Moore has it back to Allen. She dribbles aggressively, going toward the basket. Long pass over to Yawn. And it looks like she's going to get called for a travel right there. Shot clock was down to 9. She was trying to hurry it up. Now California will get last possession with 17 on the clock.
Yeah, and Jan was putting her hands up in confusion. She said she didn't move her feet, but that allows California and Mickey Glenn to get this last possession like she always does. She loves doing that.
Now's the time to get at least some shot to fall here and go into halftime with a little bit of momentum. Glenn backs off her defender, shoots for 3, no good off the side of the backboard. So that'll end the first half. Edinboro leading at 38-33. Your thoughts, Danny?
Just a defensive performance from California just to stay in this game, and just an offensive shooting performance, more specifically the three-pointers for Edinboro, just allowing them to stretch their lead to only 5 points. It is not a deficit that California cannot get back into. They have gotten to huger deficits in the past.
We'll have the second half for you after we come back here on CUTV. Stay tuned.
With CalU's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing Office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
For almost 30 years, CUTV has been the campus and community home for local news, sports, and entertainment. Broadcast in 100,000 homes in southwestern Pennsylvania, CUTV provides complete coverage of Vulcan sports as well as high school football coverage. Broadcast weekly live, CUTV News Center provides coverage of local and campus events, weekend weather, sports highlights, and feature stories. For more information on CUTV, check us out on the web, friend us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter.
Hello and welcome back inside Hamer Halls. We're getting ready to start the second half of action between Edinboro and California. Edinboro holding on to a 5-point lead, so California going to have to come out with a little bit of fire here to start the second half to get back into this one. Again, it is the second round playoff game for the PSAC tournament here in women's basketball. And California, again, if they were to lose this game, they are out of the PSAC tournament, but they would still get into the NCAAs. Just keep that in mind as we take a look at the halftime stats.
Yeah, and a big reason why Edinboro has this lead is due to Katie Fisher and Michelle Yan, and they're hitting all of their three-pointers, being 6 for 10, 60% on the game, and California only hitting 1. So that's what they're going to need to step up to get this contest back into more of a manageable realm for them. And also, Precious Martin stepping up for the Vulcans, having 14 points. And another stat that you're going to see there, 5 steals for California. That is huge, allowing them to set up the fast break and get their offense going.
Here's some highlights then from the first half. The biggest thing though to note though, California's got their steals. Some of their shots just aren't falling though.
Yeah, Sierra Barrett couldn't get most of her shots to fall in that first half. Hopefully she can turn it around. California has come out of the halftime break earlier in the season against Mercyhurst. In the second half, they were just explosive. In the fourth quarter, they didn't even allow a field goal to fall. So that's huge for them. Maybe Jess Strom said a little bit of a motivational speech in the locker room there, trying to get California back on the winning side.
It will be interesting to see how this second half develops. California is known for making some comebacks across the regular season, so they get the inbounds. We start the second half here from Hamer Hall as Shatara Parsons passes it down low to Sierra Barrett, and she's going to get called for a travel right off the bat.
Yeah, and Sierra Barrett looks to be a little discouraged there, just getting another travel call. Couldn't get anything started in the first half. Hopefully she can keep her confidence levels up, though, and see if she can turn that around.
Now this is Katie Fisher, loses the handle on it just a little bit. Stolen away, a little scrum there, but Edinboro picks it back up as it's given to Allen. Now Michelle Yawn, guarded against by Parsons, goes straight to the basket, swatted away. She goes up for it. Shatera Parsons, aggressive defense.
Yeah, and her just asserting her dominance there on that one, going up against a smaller offensive player there.
And Mickey Glenn just goes straight to the basket, being aggressive herself. Nice layup. So Mickey Glenn, good way to start her second half.
Yeah, Mickey Glenn also was a person on this Vulcans team that couldn't get started, and just getting started early is huge.
And Sierra Barrett just steals one away almost right there and almost runs into us here near the court. She landed just a couple seats down from us here as this ball goes out of bounds. Edinboro last touched it, so California gets it back.
Yeah, and this crowd is really getting into it now, and this is going back and forth for Edinboro and the Vulcans really need to step it up now, and the crowd needs to get behind them as well.
This is a lot like the game I got to call last year actually against Gannon, where California was down at the half and then made a comeback to move on with a win in the second round. So could history repeat itself here as Precious Martin goes to the basket, little floater in and out, no good, and it's rebounded by Edinboro.
And a good move by Precious Martin getting to the rim. Unfortunately, she couldn't get that to fall, and Shatera Parsons and Sierra Barrett couldn't get the rebound as well.
Now we're gonna get a whistle right here as we're gonna get a foul called against California, as that one is gonna go against, I believe, Mickey Glenn on that play. Actually, I apologize, that was on Paige Wright. That's her third of the night. So inbounding it is Edinboro. California's gonna have to watch the fouls. They got into a little foul trouble in the second quarter. This ball goes out of bounds. They're gonna say last touch off of Precious Martin. So Edinboro again retaining possession.
Yeah, it was close along the baseline there. It looked like Precious Martin's foot might have been out of bounds and kind of pushed it off that, just rocketing out of bounds and giving Edinboro the ball back.
And Fisher inbounds it right here to Yawn. Guarded by Parsons once again. She dribbles right to the basket. Her shot is swatted once again by Parsons as she gets the ball back for the Vulcans.
Yeah, Shatera Parsons heating up on the defensive side, and that's going to be big for the Vulcans.
Now Precious Martin wide open underneath. Mickey Glenn found her right there. She is up to 16 points in the night. California coming out with a spark. They've gotten all the points in this half. They are down by one here. Just over 2 minutes have elapsed in this third quarter. Shot right there by Edinboro, no good. Rebounded by Edinboro, picked back up, shot and good right there for Edinboro, as that was Anya Freeland.
And unfortunately, the Cal Vulcans couldn't get that ball back, and Anya Freeland was just open and just laid that ball right in.
That's stolen away right there. Fisher read that pass by Glenn easily. She comes up the court, bumped. Gives a pass over there to Yawn. So Edinboro creating a turnover of their own right here. Fisher tries to drive the basket. She'll put a little floater up. Actually, no, it's a pass to Freeland as she gathers it in and gets the shot to fall.
Yeah, just getting it to Anya Freeland seems like that's the move for Edinboro in this second half, and they're doing it and executing it as well.
So Edinboro's answered back with a 4-0 run of their own. California trying to break that here. Precious Martin out to Paige Wright from downtown for three, and it is good, and the crowd just erupts here in Hamer Hall.
Yeah, and Paige Wright getting heated up as well. Everybody's starting to get back into this contest. Like I said before, this is what they did against Mercyhurst, and they're just keeping it going now against Edinboro.
California again just barely down in this contest, down 42-40. This is Hippo, gets a tip by Glenn, almost stolen away. Martin lost the handle on it, swatted by Glenn as it goes out of bounds. So California really trying to create these turnovers right now on defense.
Yeah, just his defensive presence gets into Edinboro's head, trying to make their smarter passes. And California did not get that ball back, but just that defensive mindset that Cal has now is going to be big later in the contest.
Now Fisher guarded aggressively by two Vulcan defenders. Once again, just gets that pass off to Hippo. Out to a wide open Yawn for three, and she gets it to fall. That's the only downfall to that defense. You can leave some players open.
And Michelle Yawn, right after she hit that three, after she shot the three, she kind of just walked up, and meaning like she hit that, she knew she was going to hit it. So Cal really needs to kind of shake her confidence levels.
Now Paige Wright going in for a shot, no good, and it is picked back up. Good play right there for Precious Martin as she gives it back to Mickey Glenn. Tough break for Edinboro. They could have had a little bit of a break right there. Sierra Barrett fakes it, goes to the basket, a little too strong, rebounded by Parsons. Gets her own rebound off a missed shot, and she is going to be fouled right there. That foul call is going to go on Whitney Allen.
just strong in the lane there, getting 2 offensive rebounds, both off of her shots. Unfortunately, she couldn't get that to fall, but a shooting foul will bring her to the line for 2 shots.
She did miss 2 earlier on tonight. She was strong on both of them. They went off the back of the rim. So she see if she can refine that here as her first shot does go in. Shatara Parsons up to 5 points on the night. And moving forward, California coming out with a lot of energy, trying to make these turnovers, but these free throws are going to play a big role in this half of the game. As that shot's no good, and Edinboro picks it back up. And Edinboro's bench a little upset. There was no foul called right there on Precious Martin. And now this is a little bit of a bobble right there for Allen as she's looking for a pass now. Just aggressive defense for California. Hippo down low, and that's going to be an easy layup for Freeland.
Yeah, just passing the ball around, getting this ball moving, allows for Anya Freeland to get open and lay that ball right in there. California just back on their heels in this half on the defensive side, although Shatara Parsons has stepped it up.
Paige Wright, good pass down low. Sierra Barrett aggressive. That shot just does not roll for her. She picks up the rebound, though. Good play right there. And that's 3 layups now that she has missed. Paige Wright, a little floater, no good. And we're gonna get a foul called right here against California. That's gonna go against Sierra Barrett, her 3rd of the night. And just as quickly right there, the action's been so fast, we've reached our 3rd media timeout. We got 4:50 left on the clock. And now we're gonna take a look at the bracket. We're gonna take a look at the Mountain East playoff bracket first here, Danny, so take a look at that.
Yeah, and West Liberty, obviously the biggest one that sticks out on the screen there. Also Wheeling Jesuit and Notre Dame, Ohio. All these games, as you see there, Urbania, Charleston and Shepherd, and Fairmont State all are playing tonight, as well as West Virginia State. So that's huge. Just trying to get these brackets going. Mountain East, another big one over the weekend in Virginia. So as this tournament kind of progresses, as well as the CIAA, and Showen and Shaw, always the biggest ones that California faced, and Virginia Union winning that one pretty easily. Seems to be like the biggest one, and Virginia Union has an automatic bid as the #1 seed.
That's right, so that's a good look at a couple of the tournaments that are going on outside of the PSAC, which is of course ongoing. And we'll take a look now here at some of the highlights here in the first 5 minutes of this second half. California come out with fire to start, but Edinboro has answered back and again put California back on their heels just a little bit.
Yeah, Edinboro just getting all their shots to fall, and Sierra Barrett, all tides are turning against her. She can't get anything to fall. She just tries to have to stay in this contest. Don't get discouraged, and just keep your mindset in the victory mindset. Just trying to help your team win. Basically, it's just what they have to do in order to stay in this game.
In California, of course, I'm sure they're looking for another run like they had to start this half. They were only down by 2 points at one point, because they haven't regained the lead since the first quarter. As Hippo has it for Edinboro, gives it over to Fisher. Fisher over to Yawn. She fakes a couple passes, goes to the basket along the baseline, and she's been doing that all night as Michelle Yawn, the first of 20 points. Now quickly up come the Vulcans. They've really increased the tempo of their game as Mickey Glenn gives it over. Sierra Barrett fakes the shot and is going to get called for the travel, so Sierra Barrett just can't catch a break tonight.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. It looked like she was going up to fake the basket, or fake the shot even, and just shuffled her feet and gives Edinboro the ball back. You really have to try to minimize these opportunities for Edinboro to get on this board again, and just unfortunate there for Sierra Barrett.
Edinboro trying to get the biggest lead of their game so far. Nicole Johnson's shot is good for 2 as she gets on the score sheet. Edinboro up by 10, 51-41.
And that was started by Precious Martin trying to go for that steal, allowed for an Edinboro offensive player to just get open.
And Mickey Glenn shoots one that doesn't even reach the basket, but that's because she was fouled on her way up. That foul is going to go against Michelle Yawn, her 3rd of the night. So both leading scorers for Edinboro right now, Katie Fisher and Michelle Yawn, have 3 fouls. So California really trying to pressure them. That's a good tactic right there. So Mickey Glenn, 3 for 4 from the free throw stripe tonight. Her 5th shot is going to fall. She reaches 9 points, going for 10 on this next shot. Cuts into this lead just a little bit. Edinboro with 2 team fouls right now here in this 3rd quarter. as Anya Freeland goes on the bench here for Edinboro. Subbing in for her is Maggie Moore. So we haven't really seen much of her most of the night. As she goes back to the bench as Mickey Glenn's shot is good. She reaches 10 points. California down by 8.
Yeah, and Anya Freeland being a quiet contributor, on the defensive side, but not really on the offense, only getting 2 shots to fall and only making 1. So that's big for them.
Now Hippo has it for Edinboro, gives it over to Fisher. Guarded aggressively right there by Glenn. She goes down towards the baseline once again. Her shot no good. And we'll get a whistle right here. And that's gonna go against Mickey Glenn. And the fans might have a case right here.
Yeah, and that seemed to be all ball there. But, you know, the refs just made a decision against California, unfortunately. You know, they just have to limit these opportunities for the refs to take advantage of that. So just try to be smart there and just try to do what you always done this season.
It just is a tough call, though, because it did look like Mickey Glenn got all ball. She was going up for that, and Katie Fisher taking advantage of that. She has 15 points. Both free throws fall. And again, this is Edinboro's largest lead of the game, 10 points right now. Preston Martin gives it over. Paige Wright open for 3. She takes that shot, and it falls. That is huge to try to change the momentum for California.
Yeah, Paige Wright needs to heat up quick as well, being that they're down now by 7. Just try to get back in this game, and they can do that quick with 3s made.
Nicole Johnson gives it over right there to Fisher. Fisher gives it over to Yawn and then down low to Maggie Moore, guarded by 2 defenders. That ball is tipped. She gets her own rebound and puts it home. Maggie Moore not giving up on that play.
Yeah, the defensive pressure there by the Vulcans tried to step up as she saw Maggie Moore, get into the lane, and just a little bit too late.
So every time California has an answer, Edinboro comes right back. This is Tara Parsons' shot. No good, rebounded by Sierra Barrett. She gets that layup to fall. That's huge for Sierra Barrett.
Yeah, and way to follow there. Shatara Parsons missed that shot. Sierra Barrett was right there to get that rebound and put it right up for some points.
Now has it right here is Yawn. Trying to dribble around. Shatara Parsons has been able to do that most of the night. Nicole Johnson's layup, no good. Rebounded. California had it in their hands, but it goes off of Sierra Barrett out of bounds. So Edinboro is lucky as they retain possession right there. Actually, no, California's still going to pick it up. The ref says Edinboro last touched it, so good break for California. This is Mickey Glenn going toward the basket, gives it down low to Parsons. Back out, Paige Wright again for 3. No good. Rebounded by Glenn. Glenn's layup, a little high as it goes out. Again rebounded by California. Paige Wright gives it out. Parsons no good and rebounded by Edinboro finally.
Yeah, and there was California players as well as Edinboro players just falling all over the court. Not sure what happened there, but this pace is just pushing everyone to just put up shots quick and not being able to focus on your shots, and California is the victim of those.
Now the entire fan base here in Hamer Hall is getting into it as we get a ball out of bounds as it was knocked out by Mickey Glenn as she tries to get her team into it with the energy of the crowd here. Thorn Hippo going to inbound it to Fisher. Fisher dribbling around, gets bumped by Glenn. She holds her ground. Shot is an air ball, no good. Inbounded back by Edinboro, but California picks it up. Glenn going straight to the basket. She has an open lane. What a move as she went right around Michelle Yawn, fooled her. Beautiful play as Edinboro brings it right back up the court quickly. And this crowd now really starting to get into it here as we'll get a player falling down on the court and a foul called right here against California as Shatara Parsons gets called for her 3rd.
And I wasn't able to say anything in that little pace because it was going back and forth so quick. But just a great move by Mickey Glenn there just to get open. She has to step that up and do that just because she has been doing it all season.
California now down by 5. Of course, the crowd getting into it here in the last minute of the 3rd quarter. It's going to be one heck of a 4th quarter as we move forward, no matter what happens here in the last 45 seconds. Allen has it. Guarded well by Sierra Barrett, almost loses the handle on it. Moore has a deep 3-pointer for Fisher, no good. Brought back in by Allen and knocked out of bounds by Mickey Glenn. So Edinboro, fresh shot clock, and they'll get a chance to inbound it right here. There's about a 5-second difference between shot and game clock. And we don't know if that, actually, I don't know if that shot clock should have reset itself. I don't know if that shot actually hit the rim, but they're gonna say it did. So Edinboro's gonna try to hold on here to the ball as long as they possibly can, give only a little bit of time to California. Hippo has it, gives it over. Yawn down the baseline, straight to the basket. Her shot is up and good. No waiting right there as Michelle Yawn gets her 22nd point of the night. Now Mickey Glenn quickly up. Paige Wright thought about three, backs off, goes for it anyway. And Paige Wright just cannot miss that three-point shot.
Yeah, and Paige Wright couldn't get that up early, and she does there.
And that heave attempt by Edinboro off of the backboard, so that'll end the third quarter. Again, stay tuned. It's going to be one heck of a fourth quarter going forward. Edinboro up 57-53. We'll have the action for you when we come back on CUTV.
With CalU's 6 on-campus residence halls and Vulcan Village's garden-style apartment complex, University Housing offers the very best value in service, convenience, privacy, and security. On-campus students will have easy access to classrooms, the newly renovated Natali Student Center, and a variety of activities across campus. University Housing Properties includes all utilities. Other common amenities to all properties are fully furnished rooms, high-def cable TV, high-speed Wi-Fi access, and live-in professional staff. Vulcan Village also includes a full kitchen and laundry room. The property has a 24/7 fitness center, convenient shuttle service, and an outdoor seasonal saltwater pool. Model rooms and tours are available. Stop in the University Housing Office or contact us by phone or email to learn more.
And welcome back as we are getting ready to start what should be an amazing fourth quarter in this second round PSAC women's basketball game here tonight. California, of course, down by 4. Again, they're just still hanging around. Just can't seem to get that lead back.
Yeah, and a big reason why they're hanging around is because of Paige Wright. Paige Wright, some clutch threes to keep this game only down to a 4-point deficit for California. But if Sierra Barrett can heat up as well, she can be a force on the offensive and defensive side due to her speed, just getting over there. And she is taller, so she could get up there and block as well using her volleyball knowledge.
Both Mickey Glenn and Paige Wright have heated up here in this third quarter, both with 12 points so far in this contest. Crowd getting into it again like we showed you in the third quarter. This is Hippo bringing it around, trying to use that lane Edinboro's had all night. Oh, three-point shot for Fisher, no good. Tipped, and a little scrum for the ball. They're gonna have a jump ball right here as possession is gonna favor California. That's a big break for the Vulcans.
Yeah, that's big, and a heads-up play there from the Vulcans, knowing that the possession arrow is in their favor, just getting their hands on the ball and getting the ball back in early in this fourth quarter, which is gonna be huge.
So Mickey Glenn brings it up, trying to cut into this 4-point lead that Edinboro has. Again, straight to the basket she goes. Her shot is no good, but she is fouled on the way there. They're gonna call this foul on number 12 for Edinboro. That's Whitney Allen.
Yeah, and that's just a great move from Mickey Glenn. She saw the opportunity, she went up, and just trying to get these easy shots to fall, trying to get 2 to bring this game within a reasonable one possession contest.
First free throw shot for her is good. She is now 6 for 7 from the free throw stripe. She missed her first one on the evening, but she's made her last 6 in a row. So her second is up, and it is good. Mickey Glenn cutting the lead down to 2 for Edinboro. Now California's gonna try to keep that aggressive style of defense going. Fisher bringing it up now. This is Yawn, over to Allen. Back over to Hippo as they pass it around the key a little bit here. Fisher. Guarded well by Precious Martin. She thought about dribbling it toward the basket, still trying to work her way around. Gets there, little pass right there to Freeland. Her layup attempt, no good, rebounded by Martin. Quickly up come the Vulcans. They give it over. Sierra Barrett aggressively to the basket. Her shot just won't roll. Picked up by Parsons though. That's Martin. Her shot's no good, but she is fouled. So California gonna get a chance to go to the free throw line once again.
Yeah, and even though Sierra Barrett's shot did not fall, again, just there was big people down in the lane. Shatera Parsons, Precious Martin were there. They saw what was happening, and Precious Martin just saw that opportunity, just put the ball up, and now we can see if they can tie this game up.
Her first shot, a little bit of a roll right there on the basket, but Precious Martin cuts it down to 1. California with a chance to tie this up for the first time since the first quarter. So Precious Martin getting ready for her second. And make that 18 points. Precious Martin gets her 2 to fall. It's now 57 all here with 8:50 left in the fourth quarter.
And just to put this in perspective, the first time this contest was tied when it was 11-11 in the first quarter, like you said.
So now Edinboro trying to look for an answer to this California surge. Tip ball right there, and it's brought in by Sierra Barrett. Another block shot, and we're going to get a whistle and a foul called against Edinboro, and this crowd is just going absolutely wild right now. That call goes against Michelle Yawn. By the way, her 4th, and she leads Edinboro in scoring.
Yeah, that's going to be big if maybe if she fouls out, because she is a 3-point threat. So if that contest got to that point and she fouled out, that could be huge for Edinboro. We'll see what happens here as California has the possession.
They're leaving her on the court, of course, here. Mickey Glenn trying to dribble her way around her, gives it over to Shatera Parsons, who's open, and she gets her shot to fall for 2. California is back in the lead.
This is huge. Everybody's confidence levels, like I said, in the first half, Edinboro's bench was getting into it. Now California's getting into it, and that could change this momentum in this game.
Now we get a whistle right here. We're going to have a timeout called by Edinboro, as I'm sure their bench wants to get everything sorted back out as the crowd's going nuts here. California has just really come out and taken control of this one.
Yeah, California is firing on all cylinders. Although Sierra Barrett has not been able to continue her shots, everybody on the offensive side is getting these rebounds, allowing to set up their offense yet again and try to get more points in. They did. Now they're up by 2 in this contest.
They just cannot lose focus. They've got the energy on their side. They got the fan base on their side. And if California can just hold on, get a few more points and keep playing this good defense, where they get a lot of these block shots, they can hold on and try to advance in this tournament, which you can see Paige Red, of course, there, been sharp from 3-point range all night long. And then the last shot we just saw there, Shatera Parsons, she was open. Take advantage of it. So we talk about what would happen if California would advance. There is the PSAC tournament bracket. You see they would play the winner of Shippensburg and Millersville right there. And of course that's going to be coming up this weekend. So there's your teams that are left in that bracket.
Yeah, and if they win here, they continue to have this Final Four, and also the Elite, or the Final Four, yeah, they host it here in Hamer. So that's going to be huge. They're just trying to get back into using Hamer Center. So, you know, we'll see what happens there.
This is definitely a great gymnasium with a lot of history for the Vulcans and this school. Dating back quite a few years. A lot of championships have been won in this hall. So now Edinboro inbounds it. Yawn gives it over, almost stolen away, and it is stolen away. Precious Martin going straight to the basket. She's contested, but she gets the layup to fall, and this place is just going nuts.
And that was huge. And Mickey Glenn normally does that, and Precious Martin there just channeling her inner Mickey Glenn, just getting right to the basket. Great move to put these Vulcans up by 4 now.
Now Yawn going down the baseline like she has done absolutely all night long. As she gets another layup to fall, California quickly back up as it started to go. Again, that back and forth brand of basketball here in the last couple of quarters. Sierra Barrett on the baseline, her shot no good, gets her own rebound, her shot locked down, and they're gonna call a foul right here on Edinboro. That's going against Lauren Hippo, just her first of the night. But Sierra Barrett being aggressive, and she's gonna go to the foul line.
Yeah, and Sierra Barrett looks to be fouled pretty hard there, just trying to catch her breath. Just a hard foul there, sending her to the line for 2.
Her first shot attempts of the night from the free throw stripe. First one right there is good. That gives her 8 points on the night, as we're getting a little bit of a stoppage of play right here as Mickey Glenn trying to tie her shoe. So kind of halting the momentum just a little bit. So we'll see Sierra Barrett get ready to take her second shot. And she normally from the regular season, 58.3% from the free throw stripe, but she gets both to fall, locked in right there. California back up by 4. Now this is Katie Fisher for Edinboro. Gives it over to Yawn. Now Allen. Thought about passing it over to Hippo, thought better of it. Fisher has it. Parsons with those long arms. That's stolen away by Glenn. She was just given that ball. She goes straight to the basket aggressively. Shot no good, and she is fouled going up for a second shot. Right there, that was Katie Fisher on the foul. That is her 4th of the night, and Edinboro's 2 leading scorers now in foul trouble.
Yeah, and Mickey Glenn did have Shatara Parsons open there, just trying to get to the basket. She saw that there was a defender for Edinboro, and just using her body, allowing her to get 2 more easy shots. No contention there for Edinboro to try to get up and block these shots, so those are easy points for her if she can convert.
Being aggressive like always, and it has paid off for her all season long. That first free throw shot is good. And now it seems like the tides have definitely turned. California starting to expand this lead. Second shot up, and it is good. Mickey Glenn, 16 on the night. California, 65-59 lead. And this is a heck of a run. I don't know the exact numbers, but California is on one big run right now. Edinboro just can't find an answer. Hippo, a deep shot for 3. Too strong, rebounded by Precious Martin. And she thought about just going straight up the court real quickly, but she slows it down, gives it to Mickey Glenn, as now California can slow their play down a little bit, try to expand this lead while also wasting time off the clock. Glenn trying to get a screen from Paige Wright, gives it over Sierra Barrett near the foul line. A little too strong, gets her own rebound, goes to the basket, layup no good, rebounded after a couple of tips. Oh, saved by Shatara Parsons, good play, but right into the hands of Edinboro. Now this is up, Maggie Moore got a little bit of a tip on it, but she loses control and California gets it right back. Just quick play right now. Mickey Glenn shot for 2, no good, rebounded by Maggie Moore in Edinboro, and things finally slowed down just a little bit.
Yeah, it was just going way back and forth. Nobody could catch their breath and make a shot up there. Mickey Glenn just hitting it right off the front of the basket there. But hopefully California can kind of stay strong here.
And Yon's 3-point shot no good. Rebounded by Maggie Moore as she is fouled going to the basket. Shatara Parsons called for her 4th of the night, so she's in a little bit of foul trouble. Have to keep an eye on that moving forward. And you're definitely right, Danny. Nobody can catch their breath, not even myself here, with the way things have been going up and down the court.
Yeah, everybody's huffing and puffing. This little foul shots could be helpful to both teams. More so California just catching their breath, trying to go on the offensive.
And Maggie Moore's first free throw shot is good. She's quietly got 7 points on the night. It's just in front of us here, a couple of the players for Edinboro, Fisher and Yon, getting a little bit of instructions from the assistant coach. Moore's second free throw shot is good as she locks in for those 2 attempts. Edinboro now down by 4. Clock reads 5:37 left here in the game as California is going to bring it up. Mickey Glenn has it. Again, they are trying to slow things down, are the Vulcans, and try to make their shots count here. Down low, Paige Wright gets the easy layup. She just found the open space and made it work. California answers back.
And Paige Wright working in the lane, not the tallest offensive player out there, and just finding that open player there for the Vulcans and getting some easy points up on the board.
Now Hippo gives it over to Allen. She dribbles down towards the basket. Thought about it, goes back, gives it to Fisher. Shot clock down to 10. Fisher's shot is good. She gets a couple more points to her total tonight as we're going to get a whistle right here. And it's the final media timeout of the game as we are just under 5 minutes left in the contest. California, of course, has that lead, 67-63. And Danny, how about this play right here by California?
That last possession actually for Edinboro, Precious Martin was kind of out of position, which allowed Edinboro to just put that shot up, and that was huge for them. That was the second time that happened.
And we'll take a look again one last time at the PSAC West standings. Again, we have it correct here on our graphic. The PSAC didn't have it correct earlier on, so we corrected it for you, and that's where it all stands. And then there's the Atlantic Regional standings. We talked about it earlier, how big of a game this is. Both teams in the top 10 there in those rankings.
Yeah, that's big, and it was all switched around. Westchester up top, and then it kind of went back down. California took that position at 3. So just this game has so much meaning other than for the PSAC as well as the NCAA regionals, who can take possession of home court advantage. So this is big for California. Hopefully they can stay in this contest, step their defense up. Sierra Barrett might even step up in this late minutes of this contest and try to help her team to victory.
And one key player for California tonight, of course, Pedro and Mickey Glenn heating up over this second half, but Precious Martin just been solid all night long, getting the steals, getting the rebounds, getting her shots to fall. Just an impressive game for her.
Definitely, I want to shout out as well, she is a Central Dauphin graduate as well as I am, so that's huge, putting on for the 717, our Harrisburg area code.
They're out east, as of course we know you're from that area, so definitely cool to see. We got a crew member, an announcer here at CUTV, and a basketball player, both from the same high school here at Cal U, as we see Sierra Barrett gets a layup. She didn't have much going her way earlier on, but that one does. California up by 6. Now this is Katie Fisher, her shot, or her pass, I apologize, going down low to Nicole Johnson. Her layup is good. So Edinboro just answering back right now against California.
And Cal was just stuck in that transition, not getting back in time, and Edinboro taking advantage there, just hitting those shots to fall, and now only down by 4.
Now this is a shot right here by Precious Martin, is no good, but she is fouled right there. We'll see who it's against. And that's going against Nicole Johnson. That's her first of the night.
And that's big. California just getting to those spots where the shooting foul could be called as well. So 2 shots from the line here for Precious Martin.
And Edinboro now 5 team fouls in this fourth quarter as her first shot is no good. So that sends California into the bonus here after this. So California now, every foul Edinboro takes, it's going to send California to the line with a chance to extend the lead. Her second shot also no good, just bounces in and out. So Edinboro with a chance, down by 4. We're down to 4 minutes left in the contest. This is Yawn, trying to dribble around Paige Wright. Gives it over to Hippo. Hippo over to Allen. And now Edinboro just passing around the key right now, playing catch a little bit. Shot clock though down to 7, they're gonna have to hurry up. Hippo fakes, goes back toward the basket, then backs off, takes a shot, and that was a good fadeaway shot. Lauren Hippo gets 2 for Edinboro.
Yeah, just a shot up over the Vulcan's defender, and just like you said, just a great shot, helping her team get back in this game.
And Mickey Glenn out to Precious Martin, down low. They try to get it to Sierra Barrett, and Precious Martin jumps on that, gets the ball back, but Edinboro now gets the rebound, and they're gonna have a big chance to tie this thing up.
And this is just going back and forth, closing into the last few minutes of this game, and nobody can really take sole possession and momentum in this game.
And we're gonna get a whistle right here, as right there, Yawn was tripped up by Mickey Glenn, so she's gonna get called for her second foul of the night, as California pretty much trying to do whatever they can to not let Edinboro tie this thing up.
Unfortunate call there against Mickey Glenn, just trying to assert her dominance in the lane, and unfortunately she couldn't, and that gives Edinboro the ball back with a fresh shot clock.
If Edinboro is able to tie this thing up, this should be, either way, an interesting end to this game, as that shot is up and no good for Lauren Hippo. So California get the chance to bring it up the court. These final 3 minutes of the game now, as we're just under that mark, it should be very interesting to see how this ends up. Sierra Barrett for 2, no good, and it's rebounded by Edinboro.
And Sierra Barrett still has not hit. She is doing her job at the defensive side, unfortunately cannot convert on the offensive side though.
Now Yawn once again. She keeps looking at that near side lane, trying to go straight to the basket for another easy layup. Allen has it now though. It's a little bit of screen there for Fisher. A couple of screens for her. Her shot no good, and it's rebounded by Mickey Glenn. Quickly she comes back up the court, goes towards the basket, gives it out. Shatara Parsons' layup is good, and she gets fouled on top of that. So Shatara Parsons really helping the Vulcans out as California gets a big opportunity, and right there, Michelle Yawn, the leading scorer for Edinboro, can't believe it. She is fouled out of this contest.
And Mickey Glenn just using her vision, getting into the lane, seeing the open defender, or seeing the open offensive player, and Shatara Parsons just putting that shot up and getting that to fall. That was huge for the Vulcans.
And Edinboro trying to figure out who they're gonna send on the court in her spot. It's gonna be her sibling, Lindsay Yawn, is gonna take her place. So Edinboro's leading scorer now out of the game, and Michelle Yawn ends up with 24 points before fouling out. And now Shatera Parsons is going to go ahead and take a couple of free throws with California in the bonus. Actually, it was a 1-and-1 actually right there. So it was an and one, I apologize. She made the shot right there. I said one a couple times. Maybe I could have covered that up right there. So Edinboro now with a chance, down by 4. Clock just under 2 minutes now. Fisher, shot clock down to 8. Stolen away, Mickey Glenn has it. She gives it over to Shatera Parsons. She slows it down. California can afford this as Edinboro may have to start fouling California sooner rather than later. As you can see, Coach Strom telling Mickey Glenn to slow it down. She avoids the defender and still holds on to it. Pass down low to Sierra Barrett. Guarded against by Hippa. Her backwards shot, no good. She gets her own rebound. Shot goes up, but she is fouled. And we'll see who this is on for Edinboro. It's gonna go against number 12, Whitney Allen, her 4th of the night.
And just Sierra Barrett just using her body, and hard foul, another hard foul, mind you, for Sierra Barrett, and that was huge. See if she can convert here from the line.
And she'll get the opportunity here. She made her first couple earlier on in this one. This one is no good. So that keeps the lead at 4 for California. And Sierra Barrett getting ready to take her second shot. It is up and in and out, no good. As Edinboro now gets the ball back there. They're still in this contest, only down by 4. Fisher gives it over to Yawn. Yawn out to Allen, over to Fisher real quick. Edinboro trying to set something up. That ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Edinboro. It's going to be California's ball. A big turnover right there. As California with a chance to extend this lead and kind of take it out of reach for Edinboro as they call a timeout right here.
Yeah, and that was big. As you saw Shatera Parsons down on that baseline, she was just saying, wow. She was out of position even, so that would maybe allowed Edinboro to get a shot up. Just a lucky break there for California. Up by 4 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left. That's big for the Vulcans, trying to just get some momentum, trying to solidify their victory in this game.
So a big question is, again, 1 minute 10 left, you're up by 4. For California, do you take a more defensive stance and try to prevent Edinboro? Do you stay aggressive and try to take as many shots as you can on offense, even if they're a little risky, to try to extend this lead?
I think what Mickey Glenn always likes to do is just bring that shot clock all the way down. She likes to milk the clock and then put a shot up later in the shot clock. So maybe see if she can take it down to 10 seconds and then put a shot up. That's something that she always does towards the end of quarters, even halves. So maybe see if she can do that in this game.
We'll see right here, California's going to inbound, and Edinboro is playing a more full court press style defense now. Paige Wright's going to be the player to inbound, and Mickey Glenn has it, gives it over to Wright. And she'll leave it there for Glenn, who will bring it over half court. Play clock is down to 1 minute. California, again, looking to advance in the PSAC tournament once again here, past the second round for the second straight year in a row. Mickey Glenn leading that clock down, shot clock down to 8. She dribbles, goes to the basket, gets tripped on her way there, rebounded by Sierra Barrett. There was no foul called. Now we're going to get a whistle, jump ball, and that possession is going to favor Edinboro. So good job by the Vulcans to bleed the clock down on that possession, but they don't extend their lead.
And that's smart. I mean, there is 43 seconds left, but see if the Vulcans here can get something to go their way, try to help them get this victory.
And Shatera Parsons checks back in the game for California, more of a rebounding presence there in case Edinboro may miss a shot. California can get that ball back. This shot up for Fisher, no good, and rebounded by Glenn, and she is thrown down to the court hard, but she gets back up. Thankfully, she's all right. That foul's against Maggie Moore. And California's gonna get the ball back across on the other end of the court, as that was a very hard foul right there.
Yeah, that was big. It looked like Maggie Moore, the bigger defender, just tries to go up and get that ball from Mickey Glenn, and just a hard foul there, giving Mickey Glenn 2 shots.
Yeah, actually that does give California the chance. They are now in the bonus. So Mickey Glenn, first shot is up and good. Gives them a 5-point lead now for California. And we're going to give a shout out to Steve Ruffing in this sense, because Katie Fisher, that last shot was a little bit more of a brick. That was only about as good as a Nickelback song. Couldn't get that shot to fall. As we get Mickey Glenn getting ready to take her second. It falls as well. California has extended this lead to 6. And Mickey Glenn has 18 points in this contest. Clock down to 30 seconds. Shot by Fisher. Again, no good. Rebounded by the Vulcans. Mickey Glenn quickly up to Shatara Parsons for the layup. Put the nail possibly in the coffin as California has put this lead up to 8 now.
Yeah, and that's huge for the Vulcans. You know, they saw that chance to put more points up on the board. They could have just milked the clock, and they go for it, and they get it.
That shot is blocked right there by Shatara Parsons. The ball goes out of bounds, and it's going to be California's ball. Last touched by Edinboro. 12 seconds left on the clock, and this is all but sealed up for California. As Mickey Glenn gets the inbound, she'll get it over half court. Precious Martin, why not? She be the last one. No, Mickey Glenn will be the last one to touch it. This crowd gets on their feet, and California is going to advance to the Final Four of the PSAC tournament on Saturday.
Yeah, and they just got those shots to count when it counted, and that was huge for the Vulcans. Just a great just a showing of just domination.
They came back and made it a game and made another comeback win here tonight. Again, our next coverage will be Saturday. This next round of the PSAC tournament will be from here at Hamer Hall, 1:30 and 3:30. Most likely, CUTV will be covering the 3:30 game, and of course, WCAL will also be here, but there is a chance we could be doing both games. Is this going to be a big game coming up this weekend?
Yeah, that was just huge. And when I say domination, I mean in the second half. Just a huge contest for both sides, and California just got all those shots to fall later in the game that helped them win.
Well, thank you for joining us for what was an exciting game here from Hamer Hall. My name, once again, is Damon Matson. For Danny Beck, for our director, Gary Smith, and everybody else in the truck for the crew, thank you, have a good night, and we'll see you next time here on CUTV.